Hello everybody, back here again for vlog a day, and today is Monday the 3rd, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning fairly early. My wife set her alarm to get up early. She wanted to go into work quickly and get a bunch of stuff done as much as she could, because she'll be off tomorrow as well. So went ahead and her alarm went off and she rolled over to go back to sleep, and I was like, no, we had this talk. You don't get to keep hitting the snooze. If you're gonna set your alarm early, you gotta get up early. So she got up, got around. I got up, got all the dogs out, all that good fun stuff. Got that taken care of. Came back in, got the one fed. Got Bruce fed too, I guess. But then I had got a text from my clients that's bringing the dog over. They want to drop off at like 7:30, which 7:30 is not that early, but it kind of sucks on the mornings. Like, I don't know, just 7:30 is that weird time frame. So a lot of times, like, my wife's leaving then, and they're getting here, and it kind of, a lot of times you get that little fluster of what's going on. But it is what it is, and it worked out fine. She was already gone by then, luckily. So, but they came in, dropped the dog off. I've watched the dog multiple times before, and went fine. The dog gets a little bit snippy at times and stuff, so I got to kind of watch her. And I've got a crazy young boxer that just is full wiggle, but I wasn't sure how well it was going to go. So, and also I had a Doberman that I was giving back today as well. So I was wondering how it was going to go down, because the boxer is a little on the dumb side, and this new one coming in is Ridgeback, and I don't know what else it's mixed with, if it's pure Ridgeback. But she's super friendly and super kind. Very much, like I said, she gets a little bit nippy, and she gets a little bit, I think she wants to play hard, and then other dogs play, and then she gets scared, and then she screams like this bloody murder scream sound, and like freaks out. Like, even like I was walking with my water bottle and had my arm swinging, so I was walking across the house, and it like got near her. It didn't even touch her, but she screamed like she'd just been punched in the face, and it's like, I didn't even touch you. And she looked at me like, I know, I'm just scared. She's such a silly dog though. But she got here, got the dogs in, let her out, have the yard and let their dogs out, and I was watching them pretty close to begin with. Like I said, I was a little bit concerned how it was going to go down, but her and the boxer just became immediate friends and chased and played and just had the time of their damn life, and no squabbles, no nothing. Made me feel really good about it. So I went out there and hung out with them for a while, got a couple things done, and then knew I wanted to run to the store. So I'm like, well, I need to go do a couple things. I need to look for a fitting to install my new RO system under my sink, and headed by the plumbing supply store. And apparently I took the long weekend off through the 4th, so they weren't there. But from there, headed on up to Home Depot. Had to get some lumber there, building a, I guess lack of a better term, frame. I'm going to fill in with dirt. I have to make it kind of level to kind of retain the dirt. So I'm going to build it up a little bit for my pool that I bought for my wife, that the shipping now says is expected to arrive on the 12th. Her birthday is the 11th, so I thought it was going to be here in a couple days. That would give me time to basically get it all set up and get it all installed, and she could be swimming on her birthday. But not the case. So yeah, not real happy with that. But hey, what are you gonna do? So went ahead, said hell with it. Went and bought some lumber. Looked around there, asked about the fittings. Nobody has it. They didn't know what the hell I was even talking about. So I showed them online what I was looking at, and didn't get it. So I'm just going to order it online and see if I can use it. But I'm going to go and hook up the filter, I think, and just kind of jerry rig it together to make it work and install the actual part I need at a later date. But who knows? Worst case scenario right now, the way I'm going to install it through the vent for the drain is just I'm going to hear some sound of the water going, like a drizzle. But once the tank's fully filled up, it shouldn't run for like an hour at the most after I fill up the jug. So worst case scenario, I'll hear some dribbling, some water draining for like an hour, but that ain't the end of the world. So most likely I'm going to be doing anyway, so like I did before. So I'll fill up my water jug and then put it in the fridge so I have cold water and be able to run that way. So won't be an issue, but we'll see. So yeah, I got that done. Stopped at the bank, cashed a check from one of my clients. I don't know. I don't know if people still write checks. It kind of weirds me out when people write checks. I'm like, who the hell has a checkbook anymore? But it is what it is. Yeah, I went and got that cash. The bank was actually open. I was surprised. Got back home, got all my lumber unloaded, and kind of laid it out where it needed to be. kind of the general size and shape it was going to be. I'm like, damn, this thing is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Turned out I got my numbers wrong. I was planning on buying 8-foot 2x6s, and the 10-footers were actually a better deal for me. So I said to hell with it and bought the 10-foot instead. So instead of being two 10-footers, make it 20-foot, I made it 25 feet because I laid them 1.5 or 2.5, which would be my 8s, which would have been my 16 plus 4 with my 20, so I made it 25. So you don't realize it, but 5 feet is a lot. Like 5 feet makes a big difference. But I went ahead and got that kind of laid out where it needed to be. I got a couple extra boards there to work as a screed, and then went ahead and reached out to a buddy of mine who has a friend of his that does landscaping work and whatnot, and does like the concrete curbs and stuff, those fancy little things, and has a little Kubota tractor and things like that. And asked him today, talk to your buddy, I don't have his number, but find out what he would charge me to basically scrape down this area, basically 10 foot by 12 foot area, and or 20 foot by 12 foot area, and then basically backfill it with sand or whatever to level it up. And he said reach out to him and find out. So hopefully, depending on what he says he'll charge me, I will be able to save myself a lot later. If he tells me it's gonna be like $600, I'll just do it myself, because, well, actually $600 I'll probably let him do it, because if that includes the fill. But if it doesn't include fill, it's like $600 for labor plus the cost of fill. I'll probably do it myself, because I am a cheapskate when it comes to that kind of thing. So also on the way back from Home Depot, I stopped in at a mechanic shop that I had looked at my Suburban when I first bought it, had him kind of give it a once over, see if you can figure out where the oil leaks and stuff coming from and whatnot. And seems like a pretty honest guy. He's just an old shade tree mechanic who ran into space basically. So he's not really not the fanciest of shops by any damn means, but sweet old guy, and really kind of deal. And I asked him, I said, hey, any chance you'd be interested in taking on a brake job to do complete brake lines and my air conditioning? He's like, I really don't, because it's such a long work, I can't really type a lift that long. And I said, well, no, you got the two of them that's back here and whatever. We talked a little bit, and he's like, no. I said, what if I bought you a lift, move out some of the stuff right there, that motorcycle and that sits, you could install a third lift. That way, when you want to have a longer project so when you have waiting for parts or waiting for their stuff to come in, work on mine, and then eventually, it'll be done and you'll have an extra lift out of it. He's like, what? I'm like, I'll buy you the lift, and then I'll use that money in lieu of labor cost instead of paying you by the hour to the job, because a lot of shops want to charge $150 an hour, and that can, depending on how hard they work and how fast they work, that can add to a lot of money. Like one guy quoted me $7,000 for my brakes alone, and I was like, holy crap, that seems like a lot. And he was like, I said, I don't expect you to answer right now because this is new to you. And he's like, so my lift? I'm like, yeah, 100% your lift. Like, you owned afterwards the whole 9 yards, you keep it. So instead of paying you a fee, the labor, I just give you the lift in lieu of payment. And he thought about it. I gave him my card and hope to hear from him tomorrow to find out whether or not he's up for that. And he said it'd take a while, and I said, are we talking like 2 weeks or 2 years? And he goes, no reason it shouldn't take 2 months. 2 months would be the worst case scenario. And I said, I'll pay for all the parts, because hell, the brake kit and air conditioning is going to cost more than the lift would cost. So I said, I'll pay for all parts, but you do all your labor in lieu of payment for the lift. And he's like, oh, let me think about it. So I said, find a lift you want, find the price it cost, the whole 9 yards, and then decide whether or not, let me know what it would be. So that's, hopefully I get that figured out and I can get that done, because if that gets done, it'll save me a lot. Because I was actually thinking earlier today, I reached out, somebody had talked about they were looking for a Suburban that they gave a price tag there. I was like, I'd sell mine for that, more than I paid for it, but not what it's worth. I think mine's worth more than that. But I was kind of in that mood of like, I'm not driving this thing for the next probably 3 months, because it's just so damn hot here without air conditioning. And the one shop quoted me $7,000 for air conditioning, which is $5,000 in labor, $2,000 kit. And I was like, ooh, that seems like a lot. Plus another $7,000 for brakes. And I'm like, damn, by the time you add that all up, so you got, and that's best case scenario, the quotes. So it's gonna be more than that. So I'm now looking at 15 grand or so probably by the time it's all done, because they'll find other problems in there. So I'm $15,000 into air conditioning, brakes, plus so I could sell it for. I could just say the hell with it, walk out and buy one already done that somebody else lost interest in, or getting divorced, that whole kind of thing. It's already got the brakes and air conditioning thing already on it. I'm like, screw it, I'll just go that route and just be done at that point and just buy a different one. Or at that moment, I was just really depressed with the whole idea of having an old car or truck that I don't have a shop. So I was going to get a shop built here on my property. I don't have room to build it the size and shape I need and want to work on stuff like I was hoping to. So yeah, I was like, God, the hell with it. Let's just go ahead and get rid of it. I'll go buy a Ford Maverick or some new Kia Sentra, some shit, whatever the hell is, Hyundai Sonata, whatever the hell, and just be done with it and have something that's, new, just replace it every 5 years or so, whatever, and just run that life of a normal person. So, but after talking to him, and he sounds like he might be interested in doing the trade, I am all for it, because the lift's gonna run me probably $3,500, and if I can, that's more than they were going to charge me for just the air conditioning install. So if he's willing to do my brakes and my air conditioning for $3,500 labor, basically, dude, I am all over it. Because figure I'm $2,500 in the air conditioning kit, and then probably $2,500 into my brakes for all four discs going around and stuff. I got to buy wheels and tires, and I got to buy some other stuff. I'm still going to be into this thing for 40 grand, but 40 grand was my goal on it. When I was done. So that was my goal, was to be into it for 40 grand. So if I can get this one done and have brand new everything I want, I'll be much more happy. So we went ahead there. Also on my run today, got back to the house. After that, I got back to the house, decided to go for a run. Went and stopped and talked to a gentleman up here. Has a garage, really nice garage attached to his house, probably holds 6 cars in it, whatever. He's always working on stuff. He's got some really nice cars. He's got a really cool sedan he's working on right now that has a rear engine, front wheel drive, V8 5.3 liter Chevy that he stuck in the back, that he basically tied the steering off with some, basically instead of the steering wheel is just locked into the frame, so he can't steer, the axles are straight. And he's got front steering and stuff like that. We were joking and laughing, he should have put rear steering in it, would have been a lot different monster in the process. But I camped there and said, hey, care if I ask you some questions and stuff, and chat with them for a little bit. He gave me some pointers of a contractor to build a garage, to get a quote to see if we can get some plans drawn up and maybe be able to build a garage and actually attach it to my house. The problem is I got to move my well, got to move my air conditioning. There's a lot of things I got to lose to do that. But if I can keep my bedroom windows and build a garage, I might do that anyway. And then at this point, all I'm out is $3,500 for the lift, and it's still worth it to have my bourbon done for $3,500, and then everything else in there I can do myself. Talked about adding fuel injection to it, so a carburetor, a handful of different things. Real nice guy. So yeah, had a really productive day of thought of the idea of getting the Suburban on the road and running as a daily driver. So I can just, my wife can turn the key, drive, and not have to worry about air conditioning. Is the biggest thing. Gotta have air conditioning, man. No air conditioning is absolutely just ridiculous down here in Florida. So got back to the house, hung out a little bit, got my shower. Wife got home from work. Basically had herself a nice little meal. From there, watched a little bit of TV and headed back outside in the heat with the pups. Let them play again a little bit, and there's just so much energy. Those dogs are just so much playfulness. Hung out with them for a while, and then got myself a cigar, listened to a bunch of fireworks go off. Dogs did pretty good. They weren't nearly as freaked out as I thought they were going to be. But tomorrow will be the real bad one, because it'll be everybody blowing off stuff. Tomorrow, I'd say by 3 o'clock, they'll be starting, and it'll go until probably midnight. It's just going to be a long, noisy night. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.